Hello and welcome back to the podcast. Today we are diving into a topic that's becoming increasingly important for anyone applying for a UK skilled worker visa. And the topic is the skilled worker visa interview. Now, many applicants assume the process is just about paperwork, but in reality, the Home Office sometimes calls applicants for interviews to test the genuineness of their job offer, their knowledge of their role, and even the compliance of the sponsoring employer. So, in this episode, I will be joined by Amil, an experienced UK immigration advisor, to answer some of the key questions applicants and employers have been asking. Like, when does the Home Office decide to call an interview? What kind of checks are actually carried out? Are some categories more likely to be scrutinized than others? Can dependents or even employers themselves be questioned? And most importantly, how can applicants prepare, avoid red flags, and know what to do if things don't go to plan? We'll also be looking ahead at how new immigration changes in 2025 may affect the frequency and scope of these interviews. So, whether you are an applicant, a dependent, or an employer thinking of sponsoring overseas talent, this episode is packed with insights you don't want to miss. Let's get started by inviting Amil from Back 25 Immigration Firm. Hi Amil, welcome to Your Knowledge Buddy, and let's start with your quick introduction, please.
So my name is Mohammad Amil. I am an IA registered immigration lawyer based in London Canary Wharf. I deal with all kind of business and personal immigration cases, and I love to be an ex-international student.
And that's why we love to have you again and again on our channel. And then, of course,
I hope everybody does.
Yeah, and I hope it's benefiting my audience. So, guys, you can give your comments, feedbacks. If Amil is able to help you with all the questions that you guys have already answered. But we're trying our best. Okay, we are not perfect. Give us feedback, and we will improve. Okay.
Definitely.
So, Amil, today's topic is about skilled worker visa interview. Again, going back to my time, there was nothing called a skilled visa interview.
Yeah.
So it was a big surprise for me when I start hearing this now, and especially when people reach out to me by saying they had an interview. So let's talk about in little detail. What is this skilled worker visa interview? When did it start and why is it happening?
I think it all started, as far as my knowledge is concerned, somewhere between 2022 to 2023, because it was very common for a student visa to get interviews if the cases were complex. But at the end of the day, when this skilled worker visa started, it was very clear by the Home Office that they want to scrutinize the process. They want to make sure that this is a credibility interview, to make sure that the job role is genuine. Everything is straightforward, the sponsor is transparent, and they want to understand the entire approach as far as the skilled worker visa job and the salary requirement is concerned.
Okay. And what do you see now? Is it quite frequent or is it like once in a while kind of thing?
I wish it was. Before it was, let's say if I'm doing 10 visa application, maybe 2 or 3 used to get interviews. Now it's 6 or 7.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a big number then.
That's a huge number. Yeah, I'm just giving a tiny little example of what is really happening right now.
At what stage you have seen that the Home Office decide to call for interview? What I mean by this is it at the stage of COS when a COS is being issued, or is it at the stage when a skilled visa is applied?
So in reality, when you apply for a skilled worker visa application, doesn't matter whether you apply in standard service, priority or super priority. If the caseworker think that they really want to conduct the skilled worker interview, it can happen anytime after the biometrics have been done or the application have been submitted via UKVI app. So it all depends on the caseworker. I have seen in a lot of instances the interview happens after 3 months of the application. Sometimes it actually happens after 1 week. So it all depends on the availability of the caseworker and where and how they want to conduct that.
Okay. And am I right in thinking and understanding that when a COS is issued by the employer or when it is applied, the Home Office also reach out to employer, in fact, to question them of the COS that they have raised?
Yeah. So for an example, if the sponsor applies for a certificate of sponsorship, whether defined or undefined, the Home Office normally reaches out to the sponsor asking about loads of documentations, about the advertisement, about the recruitment process, the bank statements. Home Office wants to make sure whether the sponsor is financially sound or not. We are doing a lot of cases on a daily basis as far as the interviews and the COS inquiries are concerned. So I have seen a lot of different kind of documentation, which I'm sure we are going to talk in length going on. But during the COS stage, yes, the sponsor is being asked by the Home Office for all the kind of documentation, and the obviously the candidate is being interviewed by the Home Office. But in some instances, I have seen that after the interview has been conducted for the applicant, Home Office contacts the sponsor as well to cross check the answers given by them.
Oh.
I've seen that in few instances, yes, and I'm talking about just few months down the line. Yeah.
Oh, they do that.
Yeah, it has happened with some of my clients. Yes.
Clever. So my question to you is, what's the current refusal or request for more evidence rate for applicants that include interviews?
I guess the data is not yet out for the current year, I would say per se, but what I have read in the past, the refusal rate depends on how you actually pursue your interview, because it is very important. They do not obviously, when the Home Office gives out the refusal rate, it do not say that this is the refusal rate after the interview. They just give you the numbers that this is the refusal rate for the skilled worker visa. As far as my knowledge is concerned and whatever I'm hearing in the industry, I guess the refusal rate is really very high because the applicant is not getting prepared for the interview. And being very honest, being a migrant and ex-international student as well, think people are not taking these things very seriously.
So they're not prepared and they're taking
Nothing.
casually.
Yeah.
And if they go unprepared,
Exactly.
and that's why there's a refusal.
Exactly. Yes, that's true.
Is it a responsibility of employer to like help them, train them, give them like a guidance? Hey, this is the kind of question it may come. You need to prepare or anything.
See, I'll tell you something from the guidance. I'll be a bit bookish over here. So there's a difference between training and coaching and preparing. Okay. Obviously, do not classify into skilled worker visa. But as far as the coaching and training and preparation is concerned, you're not allowed to coach somebody on how you need to answer certain things, because the Home Office actually wants you to be transparent and honest as far as these things are concerned. But at the end of the day, yes, you can prepare them. You can tell them that you have to be confident. You need to know about your recruitment process, because as soon as somebody enters the the phase of the interview, they just go blank.
Yeah.
They get anxious about the fact that what's really going to happen.
Yeah.
In terms of the preparation, you have to be confident enough. You need to have evidence to back it up of whatever you're going to say.
Yeah.
So it is important to make sure that as a sponsor, as an employer, yes, you are good to go to prepare your candidate, but do not coach them.
Yeah.
That is important.
Yeah. So, but they should have an idea what is going to happen during the interview, right?
Exactly.
And when the Home Office sends them an email, do they also give like a what will be asked in the interview? I mean, not exact question. I mean,
Yeah.
do they say why is the interview being conducted? I mean, say I'm a new to the UK. I've got a skill visa. Now I'm getting this interview thing.
Right.
And when I see that email, it's like, why am I being interviewed? I already applied for the job. I was interviewed by the employer.
Right.
Now Home Office wants to interview. So they will be confused, or they would like to know what is this interview pattern? What is it like?
Yeah.
So does it contain that information when they get an email?
Just one line, Sarika. I have seen in few interviews, they just put one line. The interview would be based on the evidence we have submitted for the skilled worker application.
Okay, that's
so I think it just sums up everything.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So guys, watch this video so that you will be prepared. You should know what kind of things they're going to ask. You have to be yourself. Just carry yourself, but of course be aware. They may just ask you questions. How did you find this job? Where did you apply for this job? On what platform? How many rounds of interview? Maybe all those questions. What are your roles and responsibilities? Basic, just to see whether you're the right candidate for that role, or there's no foul play in it. It's genuine and authentic. That is the whole.
I think for your audience, I would give some bonus questions as well at the end.
Oh, at the end. So make sure you guys watch the video till the end. Okay. Thanks, Amil. Okay, let's move to the next one. Let me see what I have for you. So what specific checks does UKVI perform? For example, how do they verify job authenticity or sponsor compliance?
So just going back, so the answer can be divided into two parts. As far as the applicant is concerned, when they conduct the interview, mostly it is related to the technical questions of the job. For example, I think in the previous interview you spoke about the chef. I think we'll just switch it to some other category so
Yeah.
that people get very interested about it. So recently one of my client was interviewed for a software development role.
Okay.
Obviously, people think that the home office is not aware about what software development is, so they think that they can say whatever they want to. In reality, home office has their own checklist. They have their own set of question bank for specific roles. So the software developer was being interviewed technically, I would say, for 1.5 hours.
Why?
Yes, for 1.5 hours. He was being interviewed just on the technical aspect of software development. They spoke about bugs, they spoke about development teams, the agile waterfall methodologies, so many
Wow.
things. Yeah. And fortunately, he was a genuine candidate.
Okay.
He had got 8 years of experience, so it was like a cakewalk. And only 30% of it was the immigration related question, let's say about the recruitment process and
Okay.
about how do you know the sponsors and
Okay.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. But I'm glad they're doing it, to be honest, because
Yeah.
I know the market is flooded with, where people are selling COS.
Yeah.
I know many people, the market is saturated because
That's
people
true.
have sold COS. So I'm glad, it will help the genuine people. It is for
100%.
genuine people. If you're a genuine candidate, definitely you should be happy about it. And
Yeah.
for people who are buying COS, this is not a good news. And you know that buying a COS is never legal in the UK. So
Yeah.
just be careful. If you had done it or you're doing it, you should stop doing it right away and take the legal path rather than buying a COS. So I'm happy
100%.
about it. They are taking strict actions about it and making only the real and the skilled people getting that visa, skilled
Exactly,
visa.
yeah. Yeah.
Great. Amil, do you have any real time example that you have handled which you can share with our audience, please?
Loads.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'll
Tell
give
us
you
one.
I'll give you something different one, okay? I won't take the client name. The client is from Europe. I can take the country's name from Germany. So they got a COS for a role of a digital marketer in a restaurant. So I think it was quite unique in its own sense when obviously they reach out to me by saying that we saw your video on Your Knowledge Buddy.
Oh, I know them.
Yeah, yeah, you know them. So obviously, they were quite skeptical that what's gonna happen. So I was very open and clear to them. You do not worry, even if you get an interview, because obviously I've got some amount of work experience in the past as far as this specific field is concerned. And yeah, they were scared and they really got an interview. And I think the interview was just conducted a couple of days back, and it was really great because the home office really wanted to see that if you're going to work in a restaurant, not as a chef, not as a bar manager or restaurant manager, but as a digital marketer. So how you're going to manage it and how you're going to help them in expanding the business. So I think the interview went well. Hope for the best. I think cases like this obviously makes people think that my job role maybe is not connected to the company, but it's not always like that. If you have got a right justification for the home office, if you have got right amount of skill sets, the salaries, and your sponsor is compliant as well, then I think nothing can stop you.
Okay. Do you remember if they have shared any questions with you? Because it's a little different field.
Yeah,
Digital
they did.
marketing.
Yeah,
remember
they did couple of questions with me regarding that how would you make sure that the social media marketing strategies are going to be conducted as far as the hospitality industries are concerned. They also spoke about Google Analytics, how you're going to make sure
Good.
that certain things are going to be managed and track, and all those sorts of things. How what do you know about CTA, call to actions, and
Okay.
things like that.
Okay.
So I think those questions were being asked during the
Detailed
interview.
question just to see whether genuine candidate
Exactly,
or not
yeah.
for that. Okay, great. Okay, so I'm moving to the next question.
Yeah.
Are there categories or job code, SOC code, more likely to trigger interviews, for example, which are in, say, demand list or which are complex roles? Anything that you have seen from the trend?
I think it's very difficult to say that because home office do on their own way. They do not have a specific list that they want to target such industries or such SOC codes. But what I have recently seen, the COS which were assigned before 22nd of July 2025, they are scrutinizing those COS more. Because I think during those phase, a lot of exploitation have happened. And home office really wants to see that whether the specific candidate has got that genuine intention and skills to fulfill the category in that company. Apart from that, I have seen roles such as chefs, because obviously they are not there anymore for new application, restaurant managers, occupation related to constructions, data analysts. Those are getting scrutinized more as far as my knowledge and surroundings are concerned.
Okay. And what about carer visa now? That has gone down because it was really high before. I know people who are buying COS
Yeah.
and coming, paying £20,000, £25,000.
Yeah.
I think that has gone down because there's a lot of control which has
Yeah.
been applied by the government.
If I say jokingly, it's difficult to get a COS in the first place. Forget about getting a skilled worker visa.
Yeah.
So I think it's very difficult. I'm hearing it very less that even they're applying for a COS for healthcare roles such as care workers and things like that. No, I have not seen in recent times any care workers are getting interviewed because the home office, the onus is on the sponsor.
Yeah.
So the home office scrutinizing the sponsor even before giving them the COS and taking all sorts of information before making sure that they are obliged to perform their duties and
Okay, great.
responsibilities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen or do you know that can dependents ever be interviewed as well separately, or is the main focus only on the main applicant so far?
Fortunately not, I would
Okay,
say.
good.
So none of the dependents are being interviewed by the home office. The main focus is only on the main applicant.
Okay, so the dependents can sit and relax at the
Yeah.
moment. There's nothing for them. Yeah.
At the moment,
Yeah, at the moment there's
we
nothing.
don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the future, I don't know, for the English language, they may want to
Probably.
speak to them to see if they are good enough for
Exactly,
the country or
yeah.
not. Okay. So guys, as of now, you don't have to worry. If you are a dependent, you are a king. Nothing to worry at all. You can
Or a
work.
queen.
King or queen, yes, definitely king or queen. You can work for n number of hours, as long as you pay legal
Yeah.
taxes, you are totally good here. Okay, I'm going to move to the next question, which is about, have employers themselves ever been interviewed by UKVI regarding the roles they are sponsoring? Do employers have to justify the vacancy and the compliance?
Yeah, so as we previously discussed, I have seen in some scenarios that the home office have actually called the sponsor simultaneously or just soon after the interview have been conducted with the applicant. So I'll give you a testing company example. One of my client was interviewed 6 months back, and as soon as the interview was conducted, within a minute's time, the home office has contacted the sponsor, asked them same amount of information to cross check whether both are saying the same thing or not. Fortunately, they got the visa granted, but yeah, it has happened in the past, and it's not very seldom, but yeah,
Okay.
it does happen.
happens
It does
sometimes,
happen, yes.
yeah. And the reason is only when home office thinks there's something maybe not correct or they want to do
Yeah,
further
exactly. If there's more to the story, to be honest, yeah.
Okay. Is a resident labor market test required before a sponsor issues a COS? And how do you prove a vacancy is genuine?
I think we have to make a video on that. I think that is a really good topic. But as far as the resident labor market test is concerned, obviously it was abolished after the Brexit and things like that. Right now, I think, and this is very important for sponsors as well, more than the applicant, to make sure if you're conducting interviews online, you should record them. If you're conducting, interview in person, you need to make sure you have got email trail as well. So those are bits and pieces. You need to have some information about the referees of the applicant you are hiring. So you want to make sure that the home office has not given any specific checklist to you. You need to justify to the home office that how you make sure that this applicant is perfect fit for the company, how you actually came into existence about this specific applicant, and there are so many things what you need to do, but exactly it's all depends on your own processes. So needs to be in place something down the line, but nothing as such in common.
Personally, I feel like they are going to bring resident labor market test back. And why I think, because if you look at the guidelines, they are saying you should give preference to the people who are locally here in the UK.
Domestic workers,
So if they are the preference, how do you make sure you're giving them a preference?
Exactly.
Where are the checks being done? And previously, when the labor market test was there, I believe they had to provide evidence that the job was advertised for 30 days on all the platforms, and then provide evidence of the people who were interviewed as well, local versus the immigrant, and that is where they will be able to do it. Because if you look at what Home Office also said, and this is what I have read and understood, if you don't prioritize the local people, and then you don't train your own people,
Right.
there will be chances in the future that your license can also be revoked because
Yeah.
you're not giving enough preference to the local people. Those were the lines I read, and I was like, how will they do it till the time you don't bring this labor market test back for the skilled visa?
I think they've tested this water during the regional partnership for the care workers. So I think they have already started a process on their own. They are not very out and about that they are going to bring it back. But you're right, in that scenario, they have already started that with the care work a few months back, where the care industry need to contact the regional partners and only take people from the pool who are currently available in the UK.
Correct.
To reduce the net migration.
Yeah.
I think going forward that could be the approach as well, or maybe putting a cap on skilled worker visa
Yeah.
would be a big blow.
Yeah. They don't have it now, right? There's no cap at the moment.
Hopefully, yeah.
Thanks, Amil. Moving to the next question. What are the best practices for applicants to avoid triggering an interview or to be ready if one is called?
I think be confident, be very transparent with the Home Office, only talk about things which have actually happened. Also be technically prepared as well. Even if you are underconfident about your role, make sure whatever you know about your role, you just tell them about it. You can practice. Obviously, you cannot be perfect in whatever you do, as we all are. But at the end of the day, you need to make sure you are technically prepared as well, as much as you are prepared on immigration front.
Okay, great. Amil, last question from me. If an applicant fails the skilled visa interview or it raises red flags, what's the review or appeal path?
So in skilled worker visa, there is no appeal. Obviously, you get an opportunity to do the admin review within 14 days of you getting the decision by the Home Office if you're within the country. And the admin review process is also taking 12 months now. So if you think there is any error from the Home Office, then only you should apply for the admin review. Do not just apply for the sake of living in the UK. Otherwise, you can come under the stage of deception as well. So if you feel there is any error from the Home Office, apply for the admin review. If not, go back to the home country.
Oh, okay, great. So how long they are given time to go back to the home country? Within how many days?
Within 14 days. If
14
they do not
days
apply
then.
for the admin review, they should go back.
Within 14 days.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
of course, if they had also dependent, then the dependent will
Exactly.
should also go back
Altogether.
with them.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. That's all I had for you today, Amil, and thanks for educating us and my audience as well. Any final recommendation, tips, or anything that you want to tell my audience?
Bonus questions, guys.
Yes, bonus
I
question.
hope you did not come at the end by surfing till here. So I think it is very important, if you want to make note, it is important to know about the details of your sponsor, the address, the kind of services they are into, how long they have been established, why you want to work with them as far as the sponsor is concerned. As far as the technicality is concerned, you need to understand, for example, if you're working as a chef or a business development manager, each and every detailing about it. But it would be very easier for you if you have got a genuine job. So you can just brush up your skills rather than learning everything from scratch, because that shows that you're confident enough in your own skin. Lastly, be transparent, be honest, and be happy and be relaxed. And if you have any doubts or concern, you can contact us.
And what is the email ID, Amil?
It's ykb@mac25.co.uk.
And all the links will be provided in the description and pinned comment. And if you want to speak to Amil directly, his booking links are also in my description. So go and speak to him and get all your questions clarified. Or if you have any questions related to immigration, not only about skilled visa interview, you can still reach out to Amil. Thanks for watching the guys video, and we will see you in the next time. And Amil, thank you for coming and recording this video.
Thank you so much,
See you
Sarita.
soon.